Okay, what's up, guys? This is another thingy, aka video, aka tutorial, or whatever. I don't know what I'm saying. This is a mixing, mastering, what I did for, I keep forgetting it, Be Free. The project file is called Shinichi, I don't know why, but, it's called Be Free, and I'm just going to show you what I did exactly to mix and master it. When I do mixing and mastering, it's just, hey, this sounds cool, hey, this doesn't. And I think that's usually the rule for people who are not sure 100% what they're doing, like me. I mean, I got some pretty good ideas and like guides that Seamus taught me. Seamus R, check out his channel. He's way more knowledgeable than me, but I got pretty good tips from him, like the basic mastering tips or whatever, just to get me started. But each different song is its different. Each song is its own case, like in terms of mastering. It's like every song is different. Every song is gonna have different types of activity frequencies that need to be tamed in different ways. So there is no sound goodizer. That's Maximus, by the way, sound goodizer. But there is no just one button for mastering any song, or one knob, or one plugin. It's case by case kind of a thing, and it's an art form that you have to learn, and it has a lot. There's a lot to it, as we're trying to say. But I'll just show you what I did. All of my synths are going. Let's see what I did here. Let's just play it. Just to get a feel for it. Oh yeah, by the way, I messed up on the bass. This was doing like it was going right here, and it would go octave down. It's way too low. It's way too muddy. I did that for the final song, so I just had it going. Anyway, I got all my synths and my bass, which is all here. Let me start at a cooler point. All of that, like all of the noises, all of that is going into a side chain. And what a side chain, for those who don't know, is a kick usually is the loudest thing or the most prominent thing in a song, electronic song. So you want that to be the main point, just first of all. But the kick signal is going into the sidechain bus, which all of these are going into, and that signal of the kick is ducking down the signals, or the frequencies, or the sound of everything, basically, of the whole track. And it gives you that pumping, boom, wop, wop, wop. Ouch, I burped, sorry. It gives you that pumping sound in a lot of electronic music that you find. And you can adjust this in the limiter, Fruity Limiter, to your taste. But well, for this one, the kick isn't playing. I turned the volume down, automated the volume down for the drum bus, which you can do just if you want. But you're going to want it at least ducking the bass. Where's the bass? You want the kick ducking the bass because the kick has sub qualities, like the bass of the kick. It has its own frequencies, and the bass has its own frequencies. And if they're not sidechained, it's like a mess. It gets they clash and they don't fit together, and it sounds muddy. It sounds horrible. So your kick turns the volume down of the bass, or basically everything in this point, but mainly the bass. That's, I guess, the main reason. But it turns the volume down so you don't get that weirdness, that muddiness. That's not desired. But you want all these being ducked. Well, first of all, it depends on what kind of song you're making. Like if this was dubstep, I would have a snare in its own thing too, and its signals going in here, and it would be ducking the volume down just like the kick would. So because the snare is really intense, it clashes with shit. You needed to duck the volume of everything else so it can fit in nicely. That's the purpose of sidechain. So I'm sure a lot of people already know that anyway, but just wanted to go over it. But what I mostly do with my synths, the mixing, I cut down the frequencies that are not needed. Let's find something. See all those frequencies in the bass and low bass area? You don't need that shit. You just scoop out stuff that's not needed, because if you might not be able to kind of hear it now, but later on, if you haven't done that with all your shit, it's going to build up, and there's going to be a bunch of just unwanted noise and nastiness in your mix that just doesn't sound pleasant to the ear. Sometimes you can get away with it, sometimes you can't, but I always scoop out the lower frequencies in my synths, or the higher frequencies in my synths that are not needed, so they won't all of them build up into one thing. It's like, ew, why does my track sound like that? And then case by case, you'll learn what to scoop out and what not to scoop out, and what not. I just kind of did that anyway. But yeah, I do that with most of my stuff. My bass, just gotta set it to taste most of the time. But I took out most of the high end. And that's it. Oh, the strings. You don't want to. I learned this recently. You don't want to compress your strings too much. You want to keep them organic, keep them natural sound. So all I did is just EQ it a little bit. Once again, I scooped out the bottom, low shelf, whatever you call it, low frequencies, just to taste. Just put reverb on it. Just, yeah, that's it. Let's see. Let's talk about my kick. I do this a lot with my kicks, because there's a certain area of the spectrum it's your like muddy area. I learned this on a virtual ride. Where's the fucking shit at? what you want to do is this muddy area is usually like around here to here, like the 200 to 300 hertz. I guess this kick doesn't really matter, but I like always do this to my kicks. Just bring it down. You still want that snappiness at this point, but always bring it down right in the mids. It just sounds way cleaner, like a smoother kick. I don't know. Other than that, like with the hi-hats, I scooped out the bottom again. Are we still good? Let me check. Okay. Scooped out the bottom frequencies. Snare. That's what I'm doing with that. You just got to make everything fit and just listen to other people's tracks. Listen to how they put stuff together. Like why does their things work? Like, you know, it's just like experiment with different EQing techniques with your bass and your kick and everything else. Basically, it's like, it's not a puzzle. It's not complicated. You just want it to get to the point where like, okay, this sounds good. But you want it to fit together like a puzzle. It's just, I don't know. It's an art. You got to train your ear to listen to stuff. I'm not saying I'm professional at all, but you'll get a feel for it eventually. I'm just now starting to like, okay, this doesn't sound professional. I need to do this. I'm just now at that point. Like, it's a weird process. But on my mastering bus, I got my Maximus. Well, first I did my Maximus, and I'll show you what I did with my EQ. And I guess it doesn't matter, whatever you want to do. But let's go to the cool part. Let's highlight I'm compressing the hell out of the bass. I'm just dragging this dot forward, and it expands it up. Expands it up, like stretches away. I don't know if you're supposed to do that. Seamless taught it to me. Oh, and I got mono stereo separation, so it's just like it's right in front of you. It's not swimming around the mix. It's not panning in your stereo mix. Yeah. The attack is down all the way, and the release is at that point. And once again, you can hit solo, and you can just set this to ear. It's all about what sounds good to you. Some other stuff in there. And this right here, it just cuts at the bottom end. It just cuts it right out. It's very useful to clean up your mix a little bit. Okay, my mids, I'm just dragging this point over from the default position, and it's just expanding it up, just giving it more life, just making it louder, basically. That's what compression is. I usually don't compress my highs too much because it's really harsh on your ears. I usually just turn up the volume. And that's it, just the taste. And then the master's just chilling. Sometimes I'll compress it if I feel like it needs more juice, but don't compress too much. It sounds horrible. It sounds all muddy. Who's here? Someone here? Okay, no one's here. Sorry this video is so long. It takes a while to explain stuff. But on this part, you want your snare. You want to include your snare in your mid what do you call it? Your mid section, your mid frequencies by just dragging your line here to include your snare, your fundamental tone, and that fundamental tone. It's this right here. Hear that little doo doo. That's your fundamental tone. You want to include that in your mids so you can adjust it accordingly, and then obviously you can adjust accordingly your kick and your bass and stuff. I recommend checking out Seamless's videos. He's way cooler at explaining stuff and teaching stuff than me. I don't know. That's all I did. I mean, if there's any other questions, just let me know. But it's all about just scooping out weird frequencies, compressing stuff to desired, like to make louder, but don't compress too much or it sounds like horrible. Yeah, scooping out bad frequencies, making your mix right, and then compressing it to be louder. When you're mastering something, you just want it to be a louder version of your mix track. And that's it. You just want it to have the same feel, but just louder. And I don't know. That's how I kind of imagine it. Someone said that to me one time. But I don't know. Any more questions, just let me know. And have a nice day.